Alright boys, we are taking the X-Pro for a little spin today. Before it rains, hopefully. Alright guys, we are out here on the Hawk Pro 250, the Hawk Jewett 250 as they say. And, you know, just living the dream. Out here, it's a nice day. And, really been enjoying this bike since I upgraded the carburetor on it. You know, I've ridden a lot of different bikes, you know, ridden sport bikes, cruisers, and, you know, just kind of fell into the dual sport category, getting the XR150 is a cheap little intro into the dual sport life. And then along comes this little X-Pro off Amazon. You know, you say, fuck it, I might just go ahead and cop that, see what that's about. And I've just been pleasantly surprised with this thing. I mean, it's definitely not the fastest bike in the world, but, you know, it just feels like something that you can just kind of get around and just kind of get into some shit on. Now, I'm in 5th gear right now, doing about 50, it looks like, and my only complaint right now is about, it just feels like it needs to have like a lower gear in 5th, and I kind of see the same thing. You know, the people are talking about the carb upgrade and upgrading the gears, and yeah, I think the gears are definitely going to be the next upgrade for this thing, because it just feels like I just need to shift up. Like, I'm in 5th gear and I feel like I still need to shift to keep the bike going, but up until about 50, she just runs very fun, very smooth. And for the price point on this thing, it really is just something that you don't really have to worry about getting scratched up. I mean, it's a dual sport, you're gonna want to take it off-road, and if you don't, that's just no fun. But it's just something you can just take out, thrash, and it just seems like it's just gonna keep going. Unfortunately, I didn't get this on video, but just the other day, I was riding through some mud trying to test it out right after I did the carb upgrade. It's kind of a bit of a rainy day. Got it into 4 feet of water, flooded the whole thing, full of water all the way up past the handlebars. Walked it out of there, turned it over a few times, spit a bunch of water out, then it just fired up and just kept going again. And I'm like, can this thing not be killed? So we're just doing a little testing today. One of the first days that hasn't been absolutely pouring since I was able to get this new carburetor on here. I still don't have all the fairings back on the bike yet. Actually, I think I forgot to put the seat back together, but you know, we're just trying to get out here, get riding, enjoy the day until it's supposed to rain about 3 hours from now. So trying to give you guys kind of what the feel of the bike is now that we got this carburetor upgraded. Now, in the beginning, I was really having my doubts. I was really questioning, like, did I waste $1,700, $1,600, however much it was, on this bike? Like, it was spitting, sputtering, kind of hard to ride. I really didn't get a lot of video. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm probably just gonna maybe either return the bike, just sell it on Facebook. But figured the little $80 baby carb, you know, I'd already sunk the $1,700 for the initial investment. Might as well sink a little bit more in and see what this bike has to offer. But it just feels like an entirely different machine. Like, I almost think I like this more than my XR150 at this point, which this bike was kind of meant for my girlfriend, as she doesn't really know if she wants to get into the dual sport riding. So I figured it was a cheap option to kind of feel her way around it. It's a bit too tall, so we might have to find an even smaller bike. So in the future, you might see on here one of the DLX 150s, since those seem to be a little bit smaller. But yeah, I think I might just take this over. I might even sell the Honda, because for the price of an XR150, you could probably buy 3 of these things. Like, say if you're going to go buy one new out the factory floor, you know, after your destination, after your tax, fees, whatever, like, you're probably looking at, I think it's around $2,900 for an XR, and then plus the destination and all that, you're maybe $5,000, close to $5,000 out the door on that thing, or out the door on Amazon.com, shipped to your house, little assembly required. $1,700, you pick up one of these things, and you know, you don't have to worry about thrashing it. You don't have to worry about anything on it, really. The engine blows up. They're selling these engines for like $499. Buy a new engine. Or if something were to happen to this engine, I might even consider swapping in a different one. You know, I was looking at some of the ideas on Facebook, and you know, there's just all kinds of stuff on Marketplace, all kinds of stuff to give somebody some bad ideas, such as maybe like an R3 engine or something like that, or maybe an R6 engine. Something that would be a little bit maybe too crazy for this frame, but an R3 engine could be sweet. Well, that's just like one of the things I kind of had my eyes on. Maybe not, depending on if I am able to blow this thing up. But for the last 300 miles, or what are we at, 228 miles, I have been absolutely ripping into this thing, and it has shown no signs of a hiccup. Maybe we'll do the big bore kit first, if I am able to wear this thing down. I have an excuse to swap an engine over into it. I would be very curious to see how much power you can make just with the big bore kit. I think the big bore kit will bring it up to 300 cc's, but I don't think there's a lot of people out there dyno testing the Hawk 2. There's a lot of complaints about the initial kind of vibration of the bike. It does feel like kind of, after it's worn in, about a few hundred miles now, it feels pretty stable at this point, or maybe I'm just used to it. I feel like whenever I first got it and first started riding it around, the vibrations were pretty bad. Like, you kind of get off the bike and your legs are tingling from the waist down. I just feel like the more and more I ride this thing, it kind of just wears out its own kinks, and it just seems to be better and better each time I get on it. Alright, I'm probably going to go ahead and cut in a few clips of just cruising this thing around, just doing a few pulls. Let you guys get your own opinion of it, but you know, I think I'm just gonna keep on modifying this thing and seeing where the journey takes us. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.